5 seconds. There we go. That's our count. I'm already laughing because we are starting the podcast off. We have Mama Mia with us, Renae's mom. If you can't tell, they look the same. And then we have Daddy Raymond sitting next to me.
Why is it so funny that Daddy Raymond is next to you?
No, it's going to be funny because I have no idea
what's going to happen.
It is basically the day after Thanksgiving. And we figured for those of you that don't know, we have decided to induce labor on Monday.
We're having the baby a little early. So
Yes.
We're getting her out early. So we decided we'd go ahead and get an episode of the podcast. So we still have an episode out. So hopefully when you guys watch this on Wednesday, we are holding a baby girl safely, healthy in our arms.
And what's interesting is because we were going to have your mom. Well, your mom was nice enough to say, all right, I'll spend the first month with you to help you with the baby.
Yeah.
So you had taken off.
I've taken off.
No, but you had taken off next week.
Yes.
And then because things have changed and you guys were here for Thanksgiving,
We just
we decided that they were going to stay, and we had a very intimate Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Literally immediate family.
Yeah.
You did successfully pick up the turkey.
I picked up the turkey, y'all.
I'm so proud of you.
It came out good. The turkey and the ham, people actually ate it. I think all the ham's gone.
I'm interested to see what's going to happen to Daddy Raymond.
What do you mean?
Well, because you guys are always together.
Oh, my
can't-
parents are inseparable. We work together, but my parents have their own businesses, and their businesses are located right next to each other.
But Daddy Raymond can't do anything without Mama Mia.
Right, but he's already
What do you
taken
mean?
care of that.
You can't do anything without her.
What are you talking about?
She's not allowed to drive here by herself.
Well, she doesn't drive.
I just have a little accident
She
every
doesn't
now
drive.
and then.
I'm
you know?
worried about.
She's hit the dumpster 3 times,
Hey,
backing out of the shop.
yeah,
Come on.
but you just messed up your truck, so don't
See,
start.
why are you taking it there?
No.
You're taking it
I'm
there.
saying, Garrett's.
Oops, just a little accident.
Yeah, Garrett's
right,
upstairs.
Garrett?
So I am worried about you because she's going to be with us for a month, and you're going to go back.
I'll be
home
all
by
right.
yourself.
I'm not a little baby.
But
Are
you
you
guys
gonna
have
be
never
okay?
been apart that long.
Have you guys been apart that long?
It's okay.
No,
I'll drink
since
alcohol
you
every
were-
day, and I'll be all right.
So
I'll drink some Crown Royal, and I'll be
that's
good.
why we have to check in on you.
He already told me
He's
that.
going to be
I'll be at the bar
unshowered and
every day,
malnutrition.
sitting at the bar, eating at the bar. I'll be all right.
Hanging out with his friends.
Hanging out with my
Leonard
buddies.
and Raymond.
Leonard and Raymond. But how long have you guys been together?
Oh gosh, I was 14 years old when I started dating him.
40 years,
How old were you when you
50
guys
years.
started dating? How old were you when you guys started dating?
17,
16.
But,
16.
16.
But did you guys,
We raised each other.
you raised each other? That's got to be hard though.
Oh no, it's not.
No, for a marriage?
No, it's good.
It was good?
It's
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
He
I don't
probably
know.
doesn't
It's
remember.
her fault, probably.
Oh, but you guys were living close to each other, right?
Well, actually, about a mile and a half.
About a mile and a half?
But we met in math class. I remember exactly. He doesn't, but I.
Wait a minute,
I
so you're
remember the
14,
details.
he's 16. Why is he in your math class?
Because it was called.
Hey, come on, baby. You gotta be careful here. You're on the camera.
It was called. It was called Fundamentals of Math 1 and 2.
Am I blushing? Yeah? You're blushing.
Because I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing the math.
Hey, come
I'm
on,
like, you
man.
should not be in her
careful
math
there.
class. You're 2 years older.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
But we go ahead. You're going to say something?
I was going to say, I wanted her to finish the story. I've never
you
heard
don't,
this
you don't
You
know
forgot?
this story?
I don't know
You've
the
never
story.
heard this story?
No, I've never heard
Neither
it.
have you, I don't think. Well, anyway, we were in math class, and he was sitting in front of me, and I was right behind him. And he turns around and he looks at me and he says, "Why are you wearing all that green stuff on your eyes? You look like an alligator."
No, like a lizard, right?
A lizard. A lizard. That's what
Hey, you
do
started this shit,
remember.
man.
He does
You're gonna wind up in
remember.
the water.
He does remember. I can't believe
I remember
that
the
was,
lizard part.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
what
your
he said.
pickup line? You look like a lizard.
That's what he told me. Well, because back then we were real heavy green.
But did you
eyeshadow.
already have a crush on her? Did you already know that you wanted to date her?
Dave, I can remember that.
You didn't because you asked someone else to homecoming instead of me, and I was your
see,
second
I don't
choice.
Don't remember.
So there you go.
I remember
I would forget that
everything,
shit
buddy.
too. I'd be like, oh, what are you talking about?
I have it written down.
But you guys have come a long way in your marriage.
We have.
I'm interested to get some advice from Daddy Raymond.
And I still love her.
Well, I would hope so. Yeah.
He's like, for the record, not past tense.
Yeah.
Present
I
tense.
still love her, and she looks like a lizard.
I don't want to.
Now she looks like an alligator.
More like a witch. No.
Well, no, this is obviously my first daughter, and you have two daughters. And you had a son first, and then you had Renae next. And what would your advice be to me with a new daughter?
What? My advice would be what?
Yes. As a man who has already raised daughters and spoiled them, what would you tell me to be ready for, to prepare myself
Do you have any
for?
advice for Steve now that he's going to have a daughter?
For your daughter, well, you got to think about it.
Mary, do you? Hold on. Was raising girls different than raising boys?
Definitely.
What's the biggest difference?
I always feel like you put so much pressure on your son. You know, like your daughters, it's okay because you love them, you forgive them, but a son has to be the man of the house.
Like you do with Garrett. You want to
Yeah.
make him a man, right?
So, for instance, like if Raymond wrecks the car, it's like, what the F were you thinking? You know, but if Renae would have wrecked the truck,
Oh, it's okay, babe.
me,
I'll
are
take
you
care of it.
okay?
That's how you got to treat your daughter. I'll take care of it.
But I don't think that's right.
No?
No, because now that my son is older, I realize that I wish we would have been more, I don't know, I would have changed it, but you can't go back.
Right, you can't.
You know, you can't go back. So as a parent, you know, I advise you.
But you would
Would
only
you have been
change.
tougher on your daughters?
Would I have been tougher on my daughters?
Well, no, so yeah, that's the
Yes.
big question, right?
I would have been tougher.
You say that I would change this about raising my son. What would you change about raising your daughters?
I would have been tougher.
Yeah, so that my life wouldn't be ruined.
Why?
No.
Look at our girls did good. They graduated.
Yeah.
They, they're doing good.
For Daddy Raymond, they're perfect.
They're perfect.
But for me, I didn't teach them how to cook, how to clean, how to.
But
It's okay, Mom. I've had someone who doesn't care.
no, I care, and I bitch about it on the podcast daily.
Yeah.
Just worry about the boys that are coming after your daughter. Okay?
They might tell her that
That's
she
what you
looks like
got to
a
worry
lizard.
about.
Well, no,
That's what you gotta worry about.
You know, that was one of the
know?
reasons that when we first started dating, I loved your dad so much, and your dad.
You mean my grandpa?
Your grandpa.
Grandpa
You know, Grandpa Mito, right? Because I remember him and Becca immediately treating me so well, and they were so good to me. And I remember your dad going, "I don't know what Raymond's talking about. He was sneaking my daughter out the window."
What? I told you that.
Oh, there's a lot of things he said about you, babe.
He
You
goes,
just didn't know.
he goes, "I don't know why he's mad at you. He was sneaking my daughter out the window when she was in high school."
Oh, well.
But I remember him telling me that, you know,
Yeah.
and me laughing about it. But
Well, and there again, because he was older, all the wisdom, you know.
Oh, yeah.
The older you get, the more
he
you
was a
realize.
patient, sweet man,
Yeah.
you know, and I loved, you know, sitting there and talking to him. But so then you had Raymond and you guys, but I also think that age and where you are in your life matters, right? Because you know, you were
When you
younger
have your children,
when you have
you
your
mean?
children,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Because
Yeah.
you were younger when you had
You had no
Raymond,
choice.
and then you had Renae. But then, surprise, right? How much younger is Becca?
Rebecca and I are
Almost-
7.5, almost 8 years
8
apart.
years.
And how was that different from raising Renae to Rebecca so many
it
years
was
later?
a lot different because Rebecca, we were so tired, we were worn out. We had just built the shop, we were building our house. It was like, just go do whatever you want, stay out of our hairs, you know?
Yeah.
But we were just a
But
lot
she was
more
a good
lenient.
girl too, a good
Yeah.
daughter.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but you just relax more with your third child. You just,
Well, we hope we don't have a third child. I think
No, I'm done.
I think number 2 we're
Yeah.
done.
Done.
But
well, that's what we thought.
9 years later, right?
Surprise!
9 years later.
Almost, not,
9
almost
years later,
nine.
we had
Yeah, almost
Becca.
9, I think. Yeah.
was it almost 9?
I thought it was almost
Yeah,
8.
no, 9 years later we had Becca.
I want to make myself younger in my head.
Well,
Yeah.
you were in college and she wasn't even in junior high.
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you really didn't grow up with.
She and I did not grow up in the same house for that long
Yeah.
because of the age gap. And then
Right.
I moved at 17.
Well, Renae went
But
on
did she
was
call you
17
for
years old.
advice, like growing up?
When she got older, but not when she was
No.
not when she was little,
No.
you know.
And it was kind of sad because I wish they would have been a little closer
Yeah.
because of the age difference.
But now that she's older and she's married,
Yes.
it's different.
Yes, now she calls
Well,
me
yeah,
out
but,
for
well, I mean,
advice.
but there was a gap there, you know, because I've been with Renee a long time, where Renee was almost mommy too, right? And I would tell Renee, I'm like, be her sister.
Yeah.
You know, don't be
Yeah.
her mom.
Right.
Be her sister.
Right.
And Renee
Yeah.
would be like, I gotta tell her this and I gotta
Yes.
tell her that. And I'm like,
Yes.
well, then she doesn't want
Yes.
to talk to you. 'Cause,
Right. And Rebecca told me, she said, Mom, I already have a mother. I want a sister.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I told her, tell your sister that, you know, don't tell me. So,
Do you think that, you know, and my sister talks about it all the time, where she's got these 3 girls, and she's like, I have a different relationship with all 3 of them. They're all so different.
yes.
Right? And
Yes.
and I think you guys have a different relationship with Raymond, with Renee,
And with Rebecca.
right?
Yes. But you love them all the same, unconditionally.
Wow.
And don't forget that.
Yep. Yep. There's always the perfect child. And there's always, you know, but no matter what, you love them
I think
unconditionally.
they just called you the perfect child. if I read that correctly, I think they were like, there's always the perfect. She even threw.
But she did put it in quotes.
So that the other siblings that are watching can
Yeah.
get confused, right?
Yeah.
Like, she was talking about me.
No, but you just love your children
But
unconditionally.
how is being a grandparent different?
Oh, that's the best part, right,
Oh,
honey?
yeah, because I slowed down quite a bit, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I slowed down to come over here, and spend some time with Garrett,
Yeah.
you know, to be here when my granddaughter's born.
Well, you know that. They'd call and they'd be like, how's Garrett? They wouldn't even ask how we
Oh,
were.
that's what. Well, no, this is the order. When your mom would call, she would say, I love you, mija. And then when we had the dog, she's like, how's Jax? And then she'd be like, is Steve okay? Like, that was the order. And then now that we have Garrett, it's Garrett. Renee,
Yeah.
And the dog.
then Steve.
And the dog.
And
No,
dead
the dog.
And
Garrett Steve.
the dead dog. Look, this pregnancy were your pregnancies all the same or different or?
Basically, I think.
I mean,
right?
she got
Oh,
fat.
wait a
so
minute.
long ago.
I always
Yeah.
laugh because Renee expects so much from me, right? And Renee's like, I need this, and you better do this, and you better do that.
Yeah.
Where,
I don't say
well,
you
no.
better do
Where was
this.
No, I
that?
trained her right.
Okay, but I'm glad you said that.
I trained her right.
Where
Right,
was?
yeah, I trained you
where
right.
was-
Daddy's girl.
Where was,
Daddy's girl,
Where was
Stevie.
Daddy Raymond when Becca was born?
He was right there. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
with
Or
me.
no, how about
Yeah.
Renee? Which one was it?
No, he was there too.
Which one was it when he was drunk? You told me.
Oh,
Drunk?
with Becca.
Who was drunk?
Becca.
Becca, yes.
Who was
Because
drunk?
no,
You told him I was drunk?
no, I didn't tell him you were drunk. No, remember you had gone to Joe's bachelor party, and you had gone to Joe Ortiz's bachelor party,
Now Joe's gonna be on the thing. Wait, what the hell? Me too.
and you came home real early in the morning, and you were
I'm sweating.
very, very feeling good.
I'm starting
And
to
I
sweat.
wake you
Feeling
up. Yes. And I wake you up and I say, wake up, and you said, I'm not going to church. And I said, no, you're not going to church. You're going to the hospital. And you were like, what? And I said, you
was
said,
that
like
damn
right
Crown
now?
The Crown Royal.
And I said, yes, right now. And you're like, okay. And so he gets up and I wake you up and give you a shower. And Renee says,
Oh
I
yeah,
said,
who did you stay with when?
well, I took her to grandma and grandpa's house.
Oh.
But I was giving her a shower and she's like, I don't want you to go to the hospital. And I said, why? And she's like, because who's going to cook for us? That's all she was worried about was
the
food.
same lady that always cooks.
Yeah, that's all she was worried about was food.
And how about Raymond?
Oh, Raymond, he just goes with the flow.
Because my mom
But
always.
he was older. You mean my brother Raymond?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in junior high,
He
right?
was 13.
Yeah.
My mom always tells the story that when she called me that she was having Victoria and she was going to bring her home, that I said, throw her in the trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we also
that's what I
talked about how, you know, it was important that, you know, we have to have these discussions about, okay, well, how do we let all the family come see the baby?
Well, but
Right.
it's different now too because
But it-
coronavirus. Just
Well,
like makes it
coronavirus,
kinda
but it's
weird
also, it should be your decision, right? I mean,
Yeah.
to have your mom here,
yeah. Well,
through
mamas are. It's always. I mean, I feel like it's normal and natural for the daughter to be closer to her parents. Like I'm their daughter.
No, I'm not saying
my
that. I'm not saying
Just
no.
like you said, your relationship with every kid is different. Like mom's relationship with her daughter is different than
Did I say that it
with their
wasn't?
son. No, I know. I'm just explaining.
It's okay. We're close to you too, man. I'm close to you too.
We love you too, Steve.
Yeah, don't worry, Steve.
My prediction is that Daddy Raymond's gonna be here. I think you're gonna make it a week, and then you're gonna be coming up here
Well, at
almost
least-
every day.
No, I'm not.
At least on the weekends.
On the
No,
weekends
no,
for
I
sure,
can't,
right?
I
He's
can't.
gotta
I
come
got,
check
I
on
got
us.
stuff to do.
Yeah, but on the weekends,
Maybe.
Yeah.
Depending.
watch.
I may go play golf. I may go fish. I got a boat now, so
He never does.
I might wind up
He
for the
has no
weekend. You
hobbies.
know?
He doesn't fish. He doesn't hunt. All he does is work. So
So let's talk about that, Renae.
Talk about what?
Why did you marry a man similar to your dad?
That only works. That always works.
No, I find that very strange.
You guys are very similar.
Because Becca didn't. Sean's not like your
That's
dad.
true. I don't know. I don't know why I married him. I guess because I love and admire my dad. I have a good relationship with my dad, so it
Yeah.
would make sense that I would choose someone who's
did
similar
you see
to
him go?
Daddy Raymond loves it, dude. He loves it.
She can do no wrong.
No, I know. Believe
So,
me.
I'm
Believe me.
sorry.
And she's convinced of it as well.
Yeah.
Not all-
Because my daddy told me so.
Yeah. And sometimes I have to explain to him that that's not right. Babe, you can't be that way.
Well, no, I mean,
Why not?
But we're so much more grown now. I mean, I just remember when Renae moved to LA and she was setting up her apartment, and I had a futon. I had like several things, and I was like, "Hey, Renae, I can give you this futon for your new apartment." She's like, "No. My dad said I could buy whatever I want."
Are you serious? I don't want your futon with bed bugs in it. I'm sure my dad totally supports that
yeah.
decision.
Oh, and then he comes into town and he's painting the
not giving my
walls.
daughter that.
I should have known then. I should have known then when he was painting the walls in your shitty little one-bedroom.
I know. Oh, and she told me it had a garden. Or what
A courtyard.
A courtyard.
Yeah, it wasn't
And
much
then
of
we
a courtyard.
we have to put these roach bombs all over the apartment because it was
It's
so
where the
bad.
tamale lady would sell her tamales.
Out of the trunk of her car.
In LA.
Yeah, and then there was a shootout right next door.
Yeah.
Remember that? And
Yeah,
he's
you
like,
know.
"Oh no, Mija, we have to get you out of here."
Well, later on, she was practically living with me, and that was just a giant closet that you were paying
That
for.
pissed me
Yeah.
off. I didn't know.
No, you did not.
No, I called you and told you when we were moving in together
yeah,
officially.
Officially.
Like 6 months later.
But she wouldn't leave my house. I can't make her leave. I couldn't make her leave.
No. That,
And then the first time we met, she cleaned, and I was like, "Ooh, I should move her in." Sucker. Gotcha, bitch.
we'll talk about it afterwards.
But I never got any advice on how to raise a daughter and what's different. You said you were going to think
What?
about it. You said you were going to think about
Yeah.
advice for me raising a daughter.
Just give her everything she asked for. That's what I did.
You wouldn't change a thing.
Probably not. Look at her.
She's perfect, Steve.
Look
You
at the
forget-
house. Look at it. You know.
Look at the way she decorated the house. You paid for the bills and she decorated the
The
house.
house in Rockport. She's doing everything right. You should be proud of her.
I still love when he was walking around and he's like, "Man, they're going to say these people won the lottery." And I'm like, "You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won the lottery."
with my
Yeah,
daughter.
Hilarious. See or no? Are you a
Yeah.
homeowner?
Listen to her.
Yeah. But some of you might be wondering why we have this game here. It's called That's What She Said. We played it. I forget who gave it to us. Somebody gave it to us. And we played it over Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, so if Mama Mia and Babe, and by the way, so if you know my stand-up, you know, and we talk about my son calling my wife Babe, actually, when we go to the kind of behind the joke,
Yeah.
actually my son calls Raymond Babe. That's where it came from. And then I, for comedic purposes, turned it into...
Yeah.
but he does call you sweetheart, and, you know, he'll
Yes.
call you stuff like that. But he calls Grandpa Raymond, he calls him Babe, and then he calls Mary Mama Mia. So we played this game. We thought it was funny. And then I said, okay, well, if they're going to be in our home when we film the podcast, they should join us, right?
Yeah.
They should join us, and then we should play the game on the podcast. It's called That's What She Said. So here in a minute, we're going to play this game.
Yeah.
But before that, I want to ask your parents. You have any questions for your parents?
No, it was cool to hear the story of Dad in class. I never heard the math class story.
Yeah,
I never heard of that.
No.
I don't know how.
Did you pass that class?
Did I?
Of course, you always pass, honey. You're really smart.
But why did you sit behind him? Or that was a coincidence?
No, it just happened. It was just a God wink,
She was
I
after
guess.
me.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
I always told him it was the tight Wranglers.
The tie Wranglers.
What?
That's what did it, baby. Used to wear those real
Levi's.
tight. No, you wore Wranglers back then with your cowboy boots.
Oh, the tie Wranglers. And your mom was like, Wrangler butts drive me nuts. What was the biggest obstacle in your marriage to overcome that you fight? What that you guys fought about the most?
Oh, we fight about everything.
Yeah,
Us too.
yeah.
Everything.
Every little thing.
Every little thing. He wants me to agree with him. I don't want
But
to
that's
agree
where
with
you
him-
need to
with
change.
him. Oh, you need to change. That's where you need to change.
Me.
You need to
I
think
need to
more
change.
like her. Yeah, you need to think
Well,
more
no,
like
because it's funny is we were talking about, and you can talk about this a little bit, how
Yeah.
you were walking with your parents. You want to tell that
Oh,
story?
we did. We talked about this
Yeah.
on the podcast. Yeah, there was a whole episode titled "I Am My Father's Daughter"
Yeah.
because I'm so much like you.
She is.
And that's what I've learned, you know. And then what I think is really funny is because people go, man, is Renae Mexican American? And then I say yes, and then they're like, well, what's her name?
Cause Smith.
And people get confused with you know the Smith name.
Right.
But you guys have been, your family's been Smith forever.
Forever.
It was really Schmidt, but then they changed it to Smith.
And then Schmidt married a Mexican, and then married a Mexican, and then
Yes.
married a Mexican, and
Yes.
Mexicans married Mexicans, and then you.
I don't know about Mexican.
I don't know. I'm asking.
Yeah, he married Garcia, and then he
Garcia
married
and-
Valencia, and
And then my
And
mom
I'm
Valencia,
Cavazos.
and then Cavazos.
yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And then so you still ended up
I still have the last name Smith.
Smith. Yes.
Yeah. But
So-
all my grandparents are
Mexican American. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are always so confused about
Yeah, it is confusing.
you know.
How that happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they meet your dad and they're like, dude, he's so Mexican. How is he Smith?
Yeah. Yeah.
But what were we talking about? I forgot what.
The game. We were talking about the game.
Oh, yes.
Oh, are we gonna do that already?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I don't know why you started talking about my last name. Oh, you said if I wanted to ask Mama anything.
Yes, and then you guys listen to the podcast, right? Do y'all usually listen to it?
He
or-
doesn't very much because he's always busy. He never sits down, but I try.
Mom does because her clients listen to. Oh, that's who I have to say. I have to say
Yes.
thank you to Miss Millie Sharp. She is how old?
94.
She is 94 and she listens to the podcast every week. And Mom does her
Yes.
hair and she comes in. And if Mom hasn't seen the episode, she catches Mama up.
Yeah.
But that's got to be kind of cool.
It
that
is.
people.
It is nice when they come in and they tell me about the podcast, and I have to go back when I have a break and look it up and check it out and see what y'all said about
Well,
it.
that was like when you worked at the post office. You always were talking to people, right? And they'd be like, "Oh, I saw Steve's show, or I saw that," and now with the podcast, they'll tell you things that
Yeah.
you don't even know because you weren't watching
Yeah.
the podcast.
Yeah. But it makes me feel good that
You
people
know-
that age can relate and enjoy the podcast, you know?
And it made me think, baby, we've come a long way from your jokes and how my parents felt about it to now all of these 80 and 90-year-old ladies talking about it in the beauty
Yes.
shop.
Well, but I've noticed that too. Like in my stand-up, for example, right? In my stand-up, it's the under 25s that are married that get a little bit offended, right? And then
By what you say?
about what I say on stage and about my marriage and you know, what's happening. And then you've got our age, right, of people that are raising kids that are right on board with us, and they go, "Oh my God, I'm living."
It's happening.
It's happening to
They
me right
relate
now.
to it.
And then you get to an age where, there's no more bullshit.
You've been through it.
You've been through
Like
it,
your
right? And the
clients.
F-bombs don't bother you, and the arguing and the fighting don't, because you just go, you know what? It's life. And I'm freaking 80, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and be offended by something that's very real or
Right.
honest, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I think that's
Well,
the appeal.
you get to the point where every day is a gift, it's like,
Of course. So you're not gonna worry about the small stuff, right?
Yeah.
Or a cuss word.
Right.
or a little F word,
Which, by the way, since you guys have been here, Renae has not dropped one F-bomb.
I know. I'm so proud of her.
So now we're learning stuff. We're learning that you're nice to me in front of the podcast, and the way we
I
get you to
turned my
stop
F-bombs.
cussing the way we get you to stop cussing.
No, I remember I went. Well, I didn't used to say it all the time, and then I went to NYU, and in New York, everyone
Yes.
uses it like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And I remember after the first semester coming home and dropping f-bombs, and my mom was like, "Is this why we paid for you to go to New York was
Yeah.
to learn how to use the f word?"
Yeah, and Becca had that bad habit too of saying the F word all the time. And I told her this story. One lady told me back in my days, we used the S word.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's Mama's favorite.
Yeah,
Shit.
and I was doing this little lady's hair, and she looks up at me and she said, "You are too pretty of a young lady to have those ugly words come out of your mouth." So when Rebecca said that, I mean, like she was constantly saying, the F word. So I told her the same thing, and then I explained to her that it's a habit. The more you say it, the more you just.
And then you got my mom that combines both of them. Fucking
Miss
shit. That's my mom.
Yes, that's Miss Dora.
Fucking shit, Arthur.
But that's what I love about your mom, that she's not a fake.
No, look,
what you
Mom,
see is what you get with Miss Dora.
I truly believe that if my mom wanted to pursue acting,
Yeah.
I think she would have been a star.
Yeah.
Mom is such a
Yes.
charismatic. And every job she had, she'd always be the face of that job. Right? They would always, she worked at Texas
church?
Yeah, people want her to.
The Catholic daughter?
The Guadalupana, she was the president.
She took
They
over.
always want her. Yeah, she takes over.
And she
she's
took
the
it to the
leader.
next level.
Yeah,
They had pictures and they had a dance and
No, she's a
she
leader,
loved it.
and she's which is weird because you and her get along.
Yes.
So well.
Yeah.
And I say they're a lot alike. That's
Yeah.
why I say you married your mother.
I know, Jesus. And my dad's like, "Hey, you're like me," and your wife's like, "And we didn't work. He's like, "Good luck, good luck." I went to the same elementary school as your brother,
Junior.
right?
They were in a talent show.
And then we would do the talent show. And I always tell the story because I've been doing stand-up comedy since I was a little kid. You guys actually have videotape. They have videotape of me doing stand-up
6th, 7th grade.
in elementary
Sixth
school
grade.
because their son was in the talent show and they were the rich people that had the video camera, So, but I told Renae, I'm like, so she's been watching me since she was a little girl.
I don't think she was watching you.
But she didn't fall in love with you.
No, she
No,
did.
because
I don't even remember
No.
you in the talent show. I remember
Yeah.
my brother wearing bright yellow suspenders and doing New Kids on the Block. That's what I remember.
You remember me? Tell the
No.
truth.
You were after my daughter in 6th grade because you would go to my
No.
house, Mr. Smith, Mr. Smith, Mr. Smith. What?
I love
What do you
the-
want? Get out of here.
I love the fact that so my sister Gloria used to babysit her in front of you guys, Gloria Trevino.
Oh, yes,
So she
across
used
the
to
street from
babysit
the
her.
school.
So when I first started dating Renae, Victoria was like, "Oh my God, she would never let me play with her toys." She's like, she would run me off, and she would not let me play with her stuff. She wouldn't invite me into her room. And I'm like, well, she's the same. She still doesn't want you in her room, in her house.
But I think it was so funny because you did stand-up comedy in the talent show.
Yep.
And Renae played the piano. She was real.
Did I?
Yes, you
I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You played the piano.
So that was the first time that they ever saw me perform. But
Yeah.
then fast forward, because the story, your dad wanted me to be with you. No. So he came.
You wanted for Steve to be with her?
No,
Yes.
that's not how
Oh,
the
come on,
story
man.
goes.
That's going to make me sick. I'm going to throw up.
No, so that was the first
I
time.
want to
we-
throw up.
That's the first time you guys saw me live because I invited you guys to see me open up for another comedian at the Selena.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was my fault. That
Yes,
happened. That's
'cause
where
you-
you met her, and that's what pissed me off. That's what gave me Bell's palsy. That started everything.
Yeah.
It's a long story, so I'm gonna.
I think we've told
I don't
that.
even want to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm sure we've told it on it. We've told it
Yes.
on an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the first time they saw me when I was little, and then they saw me open up for another comedian at the Selena Auditorium. Then how was it?
When I was in college. I was already
You were at
in
NYU.
college.
Yeah, you were already in
I think I was like a
college.
freshman in
Yeah.
college maybe or sophomore.
And then you came backstage and you're like, oh my God.
No,
No.
you told her she could stay back there. You could,
No, she decided to stay back
No,
there.
no,
She-
you told her you can stay back here, and I would look behind the curtains and I could see her standing over there, making sure she was still right there. You know, it was.
I'm on
it was
stage.
like-
What's gonna happen?
It was crazy. It pissed me off.
I
I wasn't even paying attention
No,
to the
I
stand-up.
did not like the stand-up. For a long time, I didn't like it.
And I wasn't paying attention to it. I was worried about my daughter back there.
No.
That I didn't want her to move from back there.
I just thought that the stand-up was, I at one point I did tell you, right? I think I called you to the back of the shop one day and I said that.
It was too dirty back then.
What did you tell him?
I told him, I said, but I've learned from that experience, but there you go, like having a daughter, you'll know what it's like when you have a daughter.
Yeah.
I remember asking Steve that I really didn't appreciate him saying those ugly jokes about my daughter. Do you remember that, Steve?
I don't remember that.
You
I
don't?
mean,
Yes,
maybe,
yes, you do remember.
Yes.
I used
And-
to walk
and-
out of the place. I used to walk out
And
of the
you were
place
so
because I didn't want to hear that.
respectful. He said,
I've always been respectful.
Yes.
What did he say?
he said, Miss Smith, I understand. And he said, Mary, I understand. He said, but you also have to understand that this is a story about our lives. And I just take it to the next level, and tweak it and whatever. And I said, yes, I understand. But one day you'll have a daughter and you'll understand. And you said, I
Sure.
respect that.
Of course.
And-
But I've also, I had a very hardcore dad growing up, and we talk about it on here, where my dad was always like, hey, man, you take care of yourself. And as long as you're taking care of yourself, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. You're not asking for money. You're not, and I always had that attitude where, hey, man,
Oh, yeah.
I pay all my bills. I take care of myself. I do my own
Yes.
thing. And when
And that's why I admire you so much.
and when Renae moved in, I immediately told Renae, that's it. It's me and you. And I've always paid the bills on my own
Yes.
and always done
Which is
things
gonna make
the
a
way
woman.
I do.
But I've always told Raymond that.
But I've always
Steve,
been respectful of
yes,
both of you.
you were
and
very
I've always,
respectful. Yes, you were very respectful. And I tell Raymond all the time that I admire you so much because nobody helped you.
Nobody.
I remember when you lived in Los Angeles, you'd go behind the alleys and pick out furniture that people had left on the side when you first got
Who was
started.
doing that?
Steve.
I didn't have it.
Yeah.
I mean, when people don't understand that when I say not $1 was given to me, not $1. I'm not. I mean, not my insurance, not my cell phone, not my car, not
Yeah.
my home. Nobody ever gave me.
Yeah.
I gave you $5 when you went to the house one time. I gave you $5. I remember $5. You said you needed money.
Was it for one of his jokes?
Something, I don't know. He was in
It was
elementary
probably
school. He
a
needed some money. I gave him
gambling debt you
$5.
owe me. That was his bookie, and when I was a kid, I'd go over there.
Yeah. But
But
going
we've-
back to that, when I confronted you with that, it was just between me and you. But I remember talking to Renae about that, and she told me, she said, Mom, the person that you see on stage and the person that I know here in my heart are two different people.
But for me too, it had to grow, and it had to change, and you were part of that growth, and
Yeah.
Renae was part of that
Yeah.
growth, and Raymond was
Yeah.
part of that growth, and I had to, you have to evolve, and
Right.
I can either grow in a bad direction
Right,
or a good
right,
direction,
right,
and
right.
Because of my love for my wife, it grew in a better direction.
Yes.
And there is material that if people were to go way back and find old material.
Right. And that was way back,
But I tell people all the time, there was a time when I fell in love with Renae, when I was doing stand up, where I hated that I fell in love with her. I hated it, and I was mad that that I was now in love with this girl, and I didn't want to lose her, and I hated all the things that I had to do to not lose her, and that was a rough period in my stand up. But then when I got to a point where I'm like, hey, I'm okay being this guy. I'm okay being the married guy, the husband,
Yeah.
and things really evolved and changed.
Yeah.
And for that, that's why I get mad about this cancel culture, where people,
I was gonna say I don't think mom and dad know what that is.
I don't.
where people dig into people's past to try to cancel them, right? And go, oh my God, he said this, or
They
Right.
find
or,
things people did
you know,
7 years ago.
Yeah.
he did
10
this
years
20
ago.
years ago, and it's like, hey man, we all grow, and
Exactly.
we all change, and to be
Exactly.
judged for something that I did, I've been doing stand up for 20 years, so that means I was doing stand up as a child.
Right.
I have stuff online that I was doing when I was 21, 22, and I'm not that man.
Right. Just
Right?
like we're
So-
not the same people.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's scary to me that, God willing, Renae and I end up even more successful and we get a TV show or we get more commercial success. I would hate for somebody to go back and go, oh my God, listen to what he said here, and we should try to cancel him and he's this or that. But,
Right.
Renae and I always talk about it and we say, you know what, no matter what happens, because I've been honest with her and vice versa, that we will go at it together. Right? If somebody says, oh my God, he said this, 15 years ago, and it's, we can't believe it, we got to try to cancel him or whatever, then me and Renae can sit there and go, cancel us if you want, but this is who we are.
Right.
And human growth and growth as a person should be, to me, admired, right? They should look at people and go, hey, this guy's grown.
Made the effort to change.
Right.
Bothered to change.
Kevin Hart's not the same guy he was, 20 years ago doing stand-up. He's a different guy. And through the things that he's gone through and I've gone through, you change and you grow and you become a different person.
But I knew immediately that Renae had fallen in love with you, right, babe?
I didn't know right away. You told me 3 or 4 months later.
Your dad was hoping. He's like, God, what is on? This guy's too much like me.
But
He parties too much.
A lot.
That was one of the funniest things. So Renae comes up. The Treviños party hard, and Renae comes to Christmas Eve.
The first Christmas.
Yeah. And my family is a bunch of savages, and we party hard and we drink hard when we drink and party. And this one, oh my God, the Treviños, the way they party, oh my God. Oh my God, I can't believe
They drink so much.
Yeah, so then 2 days later, we're going to a dance with your brother and your dad, and literally your dad's like, pull over right here. I need an 18-pack. And then your brother's like, I need an 18-pack. And then at the end of the night, dude, we have all these cans, and I'm like, hey, the Treviños are bad, huh? What's going on here?
Oh, no, we don't drink. We don't do that.
But it's been a great ride for all of us, and what I love the most is somehow, some way, we've all become part of this journey that Renae and I are on. My mom, Arthur, my dad, you guys are all characters in this life story that I get to tell on stage, and now with the podcast, we get to get even more in depth into what we deal with on a daily basis, and now with the baby, I mean, this is something that, because we're so honest that we're going to take this and continue the conversations about the struggles. I mean, this pregnancy has been one of the hardest things that I think me and you have ever been through.
Yeah.
From losing our baby to coronavirus happening.
Yeah.
To this pregnancy being so hard on us. I mean, this weekend alone,
I just feel like coronavirus has thrown a lot of curveballs. This weekend alone, your show in San Antonio.
Yeah, there's a curfew, so we had to...
you had these sold-out shows that were supposed to start at 9:30, and now there's a 10 p.m. curfew, so shuffling that around and figuring that out, and it's just been, I think for everyone, it's been a year of rolling with the punches.
Yeah, well, and it's taken more punches than, it's been a rough year, and then the pregnancy has honestly been, stressful and hard.
But today there's definitely a sense of relief to know that that I made it through Thanksgiving.
But I called it. I go, the baby's gonna come right after Thanksgiving, and then
Steve was right. For the record, Steve was right.
We're learning a lot on the podcast, folks. We're learning a lot. Zero credit, but always right.
Not always.
But I love that you said in the special that the best blessing of 2020 was the pregnancy.
But it is, and I think that, and Renae and I differ. I look at everything positive, right? I always look at all the things on how I can make this work. Renae immediately goes to here's all the things that are wrong with it, right?
No, not all things wrong with it. I'm just more of a realist than you are.
No, I'm like, oh my God, we could do this, and she's like, really? And then just shits on it. Here's all the shit.
You always do that.
Yeah, she gets that from me. She gets
you're
everything.
Not always right. We lost $200 on the football games on the bets.
We did, yes.
So you're not always right.
Yeah.
We did lose. But we got games to bet on here in a minute.
See, she gets all her bad stuff from me and all the perfect stuff from him. Right.
That's one thing I've learned. One thing I've learned in my relationship is don't ever argue with the Smith. You just don't. Daddy Raymond, Junior, you, Rebecca, whatever they say.
Not me, right?
Not you. I said Smiths.
Yeah. Okay.
If they start talking, I just go, yep, yep. You're right. You're the best. I'm the worst. I already know. All right, so tell us how we play.
Okay.
Well, tell them how we play so they understand.
Yeah. The rules of the game. Okay, so it's fairly simple. What happens is there's a judge.
I'm the judge.
We'll start with you. Okay, so you get the red cards. Those are the setup cards. Yes. And then the white cards, we each get 5 cards. There's you first. Steve is going to put the setup card out.
Okay, round one, Daddy's the judge. Let's go. The setup is the voice in my head always whispers. The voice in my head
Oh my God, this is
always whispers. The voice.
all right. That one's for you, Steve Trevino.
Way to pull the trigger, baby.
Okay.
Okay, now, here we go. I am the judge.
Okay, mix them up so you don't know whose card is
Yes,
whose.
boss.
Yeah, okay.
The voice in my head always whispers, behold perfection.
I know who picked that one.
Hey.
The voice in my head always whispers, you came just in time. I think everybody here has a dirty mind. Everybody's like, it's spelled C-A-M-E, guys. Okay.
You came to visit me.
The voice in my head always whispers, put your lips together and blow. That one wins right there. Put your lips together and blow.
Who was that?
think.
Yes.
Daddy Ray.
Yes.
His little smile.
I
Okay, these get
proud, I
discarded.
Okay.
And then since Daddy Raymond won, he's the judge, right?
A new player becomes the judge, moving in a clockwise direction. So yes.
So it's a nasty game. It is.
In your head.
Because every card I
depends
get
on
is
how
something
you-
nasty.
It's not a nasty
It
game.
doesn't
It's
have to
a
be
fun
nasty. It's the
game.
way you think.
Okay. Oh, it's the way I think?
That's right. That's the way you think.
You're the comedian.
judge.
You're the
You're
comedian.
the judge. So go ahead. Give us the setup, Daddy Raymond.
One time while gently petting my dog, I thought to myself,
I thought to myself, okay.
There we go.
hijo.
There's mine. Winner.
Okay, there's mine.
Okay.
Winner. And then shuffle the three. So you don't know which one's Renee's. So you have to read it every
One
time.
time while petting my dog, I thought to myself, let me strap this on first. I knew it.
Okay,
I knew it.
go on,
I knew
baby.
it. One time while gently petting my dog, I thought to myself, I've got the munchies.
Boring.
One time while gently petting my dog, I thought to myself, let me show you the little man behind the curtain.
That was pretty good. Which one wins?
The first one.
Yes.
Steve.
The comedian wins.
Okay.
So I get 2 cards.
So now everyone except for Dad
Gets 2
draws
cards.
2 more cards, and then Mom becomes the judge.
Okay.
Okay.
After my grandma passed gas, she leaned over to my grandpa and said,
Oops.
pick a card.
Oh.
There's mine. Winner. Winning.
I can't put in.
You don't play. You're the
I'm
judge.
hilarious.
After my grandpa passed
And there was
gas,
2 options,
she
by the
leaned
way.
over to my
There's
grandpa
2 options,
and
but I know which one's
said,
funnier.
Oh, now I want to switch it.
Switch what?
Can I switch my card?
Yeah. You do
What
what,
do
you
you
want,
mean?
dude.
she found a better one.
Okay.
Okay. Who are we waiting on?
I'm
Okay,
baby.
well, read the
After my grandma passed gas, she leaned over to my grandpa and said,
So what do I do? Just throw
just
it?
throw it there.
The one you like, yep.
Pass
And
Mom.
then-
Mix them up.
Okay, and then I have to figure out which one. After my grandma
Dad's
passed
already
gas,
smiling.
No, it's Steve. You know, what did he do? What did he do? But
after my grandma passed gas, she leaned over to my grandpa and said, "This is really making my butt sore."
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like that one. Do you want, after my grandma passed gas, she leaned over my grandpa and said, "Do you want the top or the bottom?"
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, they're all actually kind of
Yeah.
good. After my grandma passed gas, she leaned over to my grandpa and said, "Stick your tongue out and say, ah."
that's Steve.
Now, I gotta pick the best one.
You decide.
They're all good. They're all
Okay,
good.
The one that I liked was stick your tongue out and say, ah.
Winning! Give me
No,
my
I think mine was
card.
better.
Well, all of them were good, baby.
Mine was better. No, mine was better.
But mine wasn't good.
The sore butt was good
That
too.
was mine.
Yeah.
What?
All
No,
of them
the
were
bad.
good.
Mine
Okay.
was the
Can
better.
we edit Mary just saying the sore butt was good too?
Yeah, no.
That's the clip right there. Fake news.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now
Okay,
I put
Renae, your
these
turn,
in
baby.
here.
And we get 2 cards each and discard
Oh, I
one.
get 2 cards.
No, not you.
Okay,
Because
you
you didn't
dealt.
play that
Okay.
round. You should have 5 cards in your hand. The setup is
Talk to me.
odd things to say while taking a spanking.
Ooh.
You guys are really thinking about this one. It got very quiet.
Again, there's 2 in there that could be good, and I just,
Okay.
you know,
It really makes you think.
It's
like,
not. It's not.
you want to put the best one.
Yes,
Yeah, but-
you want yours to win.
Some
You don't want to be the loser.
Well, Mom,
But
right
you
now,
gotta
and I
save
are
the one
losers.
that's
We don't have
real
any
funny
red
for the
cards.
right
For the
Okay.
right
question.
one, yeah.
For the right question.
Odd things to say while taking a spanking. Let's do it face to face. How did you get to be so flexible? Odd things to say while taking a spanking. I have room for one more.
Which one's the best?
I like let's do a face to face.
Yes, I win
Oh
again!
my
See, why are you
gosh,
doing that?
Winner!
that's not fair.
I quit.
Because
I quit.
that is not fair.
No.
You two know each other's.
To win the game, I mean, obviously, we're doing a podcast, and we thought this game was fun, so we wanted to show it to you guys. And I also think it's one of those games that is easy to play, right?
I
You know.
really liked it, didn't you? Baby?
Yeah.
It's
It
really
doesn't
fun.
say.
It's
But-
good for our memory
But
too.
you learn
'cause-
when you're not a nasty person, you become nasty,
Oh, I thought you were always nasty.
right?
I thought you were always nasty. Baby. He goes, Steve, he goes, no.
Okay, here's the setup, kiddos.
Okay.
After a long day at work, I arrived home, took off my bra, and cried. I've seen this in real life.
I was gonna say it feels very relevant right now.
I've witnessed this. I've witnessed this.
Okay, where do you put the?
Right here, put it right here.
Okay.
We got one picked out.
Okay.
Mamma Mia makes fast decisions. All right. After a long day at work,
Shuffle 'em.
I arrived home, took off my bra, and cried. We're going to need plenty of towels. After a long day at work, I arrived home, took off my bra, and cried. I didn't expect it to look like that. After a long
that would
day
be-
at work, I arrived home, took off my bra, and cried. Now that's a mouthful.
Yeah, that's a
That's the
funny
winner.
one.
Who had that one? That's the winner. The mouthful is the winner.
Yeah, come on.
Here we go, Mary. You have
I
a
can't
card.
believe
You got
that.
a point.
Mine is I didn't expect
Well,
it to
it was
look
the
like
only
that.
decent one that I had. Decent, whatever. Whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
You're
Good
the
game.
judge. Mary
Oh,
finally
okay.
has a point. Get
Okay,
your
that-
2
that
cards.
goes-
Oh,
Not you, you're
I don't
good.
get no cards. Yeah, like that one. My favorite Triple X film is called.
Okay. Triple X film.
Winning. Winning, guy. I do like it though that any competition that we have,
Okay.
whether it's cornhole, horseshoes,
He always
if I'm
has
on a baseball team, everybody wants to beat Steve.
Okay,
Am I right?
my favorite Triple X film is called It's Just Like Riding a Bike.
That one's cute. That one's cute. I'm like, that was
Wow.
cute.
My favorite Triple X film is called Here's Taste This. Here, taste this.
That was just gross.
Yeah, it's real gross. My favorite Triple X film is called You Are Making This Way Harder Than It Has to Be. Wow.
You have to pick one, babe. Which one's your favorite?
You're like,
Quit
That one,
shaking.
you're making this way harder than it has to be.
I finally won one.
he knew it. He knew it. He knew which one was mine, and he didn't want to give it to me. I saw him. He knows the riding the bike is the best one, and he wanted to give it to you.
I really, no.
So who won?
I did. I won.
Oh, you won.
Renae won.
So full of shit.
You knew she had said that one, right?
I'm a gambler.
No, but
Yeah.
for real, I'm laughing so hard I have to pee.
So,
I'm laughing so hard I have
so
to
we
pee.
should have played for dollars, right? You would have won.
I don't know if I'm
She
going
would
to
have
make it to
won.
the bathroom.
Okay. No, I'm super excited because, you know, we have the Aztec Chevrolet sponsorship, and it just so happens that not only Daddy Raymond but Mama Mia are both looking for a new Chevy.
And you know what I really, really like is the new Tahoes.
Yep,
I've
so-
seen them, and I tell Babe, look, I like that car. Look, Babe, I like that vehicle. And it's always been a Tahoe.
Well, we're definitely a Chevy family, which is awesome because when, you know, my dad has a Chevy, when Daddy Raymond comes over, he's got the 3500. Junior has the 2500, and then you have the Toyota. But no, I'm excited because I'm gonna walk them into Aztec Chevrolet, and and even better, we're gonna call them, tell them what car you want, and they're gonna set you up real nice. We're gonna pick it up and be all set up at Aztec Chevrolet. So to everybody who's trying to buy a car right now, Aztec Chevrolet, go visit them. We love them. I'm loving driving the Camaro. And then, you know, maybe we'll take a camera crew out there to watch your experience down at Aztec Chevrolet. So we're very excited to be have such a wonderful sponsor. Come on back in, babe.
I'm
She's
excited
back
about-
now.
I don't have much room in my bladder these days. It's starting to get
I know.
painful.
Well, stand up because everybody. Last week, people were like, "Oh, we didn't see the baby
know.
buff."
Like a basketball.
What did I tell the kid the other day that you had swallowed well, this is what happens when you swallow a
watermelon seed?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's go. Here we go.
Okay,
with
we're
the
playing
game.
another round?
Yes,
No.
we're playing another round.
Who's the
I don't
judge?
have no card.
Mary's the judge.
I threw my card
Here,
in.
take 5 more.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. At the urinal, the guy next to me looked down and said,
I got it right here. Boom.
And said
Winning.
what?
you
No.
gotta pick the ending.
I got a winner.
At the urinal.
Oh, you're the judge.
You went to the urinal and the guy next to you looked down and said, what did he say? Oops. Okay, now I
Here we
have to
go.
pick the winner.
Yep.
I just
Mix them up.
Okay, at the urinal, the guy next to me looked down and said, want some company?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
That one's cute. At the urinal, the guy next to me looked down and said, don't be afraid, get in there. At the urinal, the guy next to me looked down and said, oh no, it's getting bigger.
Which was the winner?
Okay. Okay. Oh gosh, I guess. Oh no, it's getting bigger. I guess.
Yes!
That was a close one.
Two in a row.
Yeah, it was
close.
close.
It was
You're up,
close.
baby girl.
Okay.
Get your 2 cards. Discard 1.
Setup is Dad came home, chugged a beer, and loudly announced to my mom. Even the setup is funny on that one. Dad came home, chugged a beer, and loudly announced to my mom.
Daddy Raymond wants to win so bad.
no, not really.
This one he's probably trying to think what's the lesser of all evils. Dad came home, chugged a beer, and loudly announced to my mom, do it for science.
That's pretty funny.
For science, yeah.
Dad came home, chugged a beer, and loudly announced to my mom, I have a pretty strong gag reflex. Dad came home, chugged a beer, and loudly announced to my mom, it gets bigger every time I look at it. I think the gag reflex
Thank
was
you.
What?
Winning.
That's not fair. You always let
Winning.
Dad got the best
They know
audience
each other.
response.
They live together, you know. Yeah.
We live together too.
Oh.
You should know me. We've been married 40 years, babe. You should know me
Okay.
better.
Your
Okay,
turn.
here we go. I'm the judge. Here's the setup, folks. At Thanksgiving, I hugged my father-in-law and whispered.
Yeah, get rid of that one too.
Is that the real
Get
setup?
rid of that. Get rid of that one.
That's what it says. God, how am I not playing on this one? I gotta play this one. Okay. God, I wish I was playing. I'll tell you which one I would have picked, by the way.
Okay.
Read it again,
Where's
Steve.
your cards? Here we go.
Mom said read it one more time.
At Thanksgiving, I hugged my father-in-law and whispered.
Dahil mix them up.
Okay, there's mine.
Okay, here we go. At Thanksgiving, I hugged my father-in-law and whispered, "Let's bang this out so I can leave." At Thanksgiving, I hugged my father-in-law and whispered, "Duck, it's about to spray everywhere." At Thanksgiving, I hugged my father-in-law and whispered, "Well, it doesn't get much tighter than that." This one wins. This is ours.
Hey, Barry?
Was that yours?
I didn't think I had picked that one. I thought it said it doesn't get much better than this.
Tighter.
Are you sure it says tighter? Let me see. Does it?
Yeah, it does.
I thought it said
Mary!
Oh, my stomach hurts from laughing so much.
I would have played, this might leave a stain. Okay, here we go.
Hey, we're done.
You said you don't want me to go into labor.
Yeah,
I think
but I
all
think
this
that's what I
laughing
mean,
is
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Laughter is the best
I
medicine.
gotta get one more point to win.
Okay.
Oh, we gotta draw some more? Or you
Yes.
guys?
That's the discard pile.
You gotta
Okay.
draw some more?
Okay, where's the discard pile?
Right here.
The title to Taylor Swift's new hit breakup song.
Here's mine. Don't look at it. Don't let Raymond look at it, because he's gonna be prejudiced.
Okay.
Pick the one you like the best.
The title to Taylor Swift's new breakup song, Something That Big Has Got to Be Uncomfortable.
I don't know who picked that one. I know who picked it.
Yeah, I know too.
You feel the hate? You feel the hate?
I know who
No.
picked that one.
That sounds like you.
Okay.
The title to Taylor Swift's new hit breakup song, I Put My Finger Over the Wrong Hole.
Oh, God. That one's pretty bad.
The title to Taylor Swift's new hit breakup song, Want Some Company.
Want some company?
Want Some Company? I like the middle one.
Of course, I wonder whose it is.
I put my finger over the wrong hole.
Oh, God. Why does that always happen?
What?
Why does that always happen?
I don't know.
It's so
Or that, or that.
What?
Let me see.
All right, here we go.
Before pulling the covers over my head, my girlfriend said,
Boom. Money.
before
Winner.
pulling the covers over her head, my girlfriend said, big,
Wait.
it doesn't matter because I'm going to pick the one I like.
I know.
so. Okay, before pulling the cover over her head, my girlfriend said, it's a weird shape, but I like it.
Got no choice.
Before pulling the cover over her head, my girlfriend said, I'm bleeding profusely. Oh, that one's gross. I don't know who picked that one.
Ooh.
Okay, before pulling the cover over her head, my girlfriend said, it's a lot smaller than I expected.
Yeah,
That one's bad. Did you pick that one, babe? Okay, I gotta pick the best one. Okay. Oh gosh, this is gonna be hard.
They could have said that too.
yeah.
Okay,
You gotta be careful, babe.
okay, I'm gonna pick. It's a lot smaller
You
than
gotta
I
be careful what you say
expected.
around this
That
guy.
was mine!
Yeah.
Cheat you. Pick your two
Oh,
cards.
wait, I'm the judge.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
telling you, that stack was
Everyone
really-
ready? I went in for a loan and the banker told me,
Here you go. Winner. Winning. Look at your dad. He wants to win so bad.
Nah, not really.
He's like so mad that he doesn't have any cards.
I don't have.
Okay, mix them up.
okay. I went in for a loan and the banker told me, let's call this a learning experience. I went in for a loan and the banker told me, it's still wet from this morning.
Ooh, I like
I
that
went
one.
in for a loan and the banker told me, does it always squirt that far?
And the winner is?
It's still wet from this morning.
Oh my gosh.
Who is that? Dad.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I already had 3.
Okay.
Well, I gotta be the judge now. I can't win. All right, last round right here.
Okay.
Let's see who wins. Here we go.
Everyone
folks.
has 5 cards?
Yep,
I
it's
got
the
a
last
picture.
round right here.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Fun game.
Very
Yes.
fun.
Game.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Fun
Easy
game.
to
I'm glad
play.
you brought it. I think we got to know Mary a little more
Really?
today. Here we go. At the end of the night, my prom date anxiously blurted out.
There's mine.
There's mine.
Okay.
At the end of the night, my prom date anxiously blurted out. You look like a lizard. At the end of the night, my prom date anxiously blurted out. It'll look big in your hands.
Oh my God. That was Daddy Babe.
No, it wasn't me.
At the end of the night, my prom date anxiously blurted out, quick and easy, just the way I like it. That was Renee's.
Yeah, that was Renee. That was Mary. See, she's.
At the end of the night, my prom date anxiously blurted out, how much longer until you find it?
Daddy Babe.
Those were all good.
They were all
I
good.
gotta take it a little look bigger in your hands because I just really relate to it. So
See, there you go again.
That's me for the win. I got
gosh.
5.
that was fun. Thank you for playing with us, Mary and Raymond.
Oh, we had so much fun.
That was fun.
We had so much fun.
Renee,
okay, baby?
My stomach hurts from laughing so much.
I know. I enjoyed laughing
Renee.
a
But
lot.
you look beautiful as always.
Thank you, love.
Don't forget to visit our friends at Aztec Chevrolet.
I'm excited that once I have the baby, I won't have this big old belly anymore. I can go drive the Camaro.
Yep. And we will take you on the journey of Daddy Raymond and Mama Mia going over there and visiting our friends. But what's the website for those guys?
AztecAutoplex.com.
Yes. And if you're wondering where to get the game, we'll put a link on there because we had so much fun. Because it was
Just
a fun
make
game.
sure you put the kids
Yeah.
to bed first, or you let them have the TV really, really loud.
So it was a fun game, and we love you guys. And to be honest with you, we don't know moving forward what's going to happen with the podcast, but please stay patient.
You mean just because the baby?
Yeah,
We're
'cause the
gonna
baby,
keep
yeah.
doing
I mean,
it.
of course we're gonna keep doing
You said
it.
it like we don't know if
Oh
we're
no,
gonna
but
keep
we
doing
just
it.
don't know if we're going to be able to do it next week, depending on how you feel.
I think I will probably
I
sit out a week.
Or maybe I'll do it on my own with a guest or something.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. Just thank you, all of you, for helping my wife and I stay sane. It's been a
I was
crazy.
thinking that too. I know people send us messages and they're like, I tune in every Wednesday and watching this makes me laugh, but it's like doing it every week makes
Helps
us
us.
laugh too. You
No,
know?
it definitely helps us, and we hope that you share it anywhere podcasts are streamed. Obviously on my Facebook, on YouTube, but please, we would like to grow the audience. So please
Yeah.
share it.
Binge watch it over the holidays with your family.
Yep, and then pick Steve Trevino as the winner. The official winner. We all know Daddy Raymond cheated twice. But the Smith motto is, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
I thought that was the Trevino model.
It is, but I switched it for the...
Baby me for.
We love you guys, and we'll see you next time.